You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This is not my home. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I'm your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com, click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network that has a whole list of other Bat-related shows that also like to dive into other nerdy subjects that we all, every single one of us on this show, listening to this show, love to frolic about in our free time. Frolic about in our free time. Everyone. Batman Book Club is also on Patreon. If you like what's going on with the show and you want to help support the show, keep the generators running in the Wayne Manor study, just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc, and a couple of shout outs because some very nice people have contributed through Patreon. Recently signed up new patron Alex Light. Thank you very much. Gregory Lusitano newly signed up on Patreon. So thank you very much for that. And then longtime contributor to Patreon, Lee Ankray, he just upped his pledge. What a gentleman. So thank you to all three for doing that. You don't have to. It's very much appreciated, and it all goes back into the show. Now, thank you for listening to episode 151, Batman in April. You already heard him interject and spitting lies on this. It's my monthly guest. He wasn't able to join last episode, but he was mentioned a lot. It's our favorite Italian from these here parts, Peter R. Verra. Pete, thanks for coming back to the Batman Book Club for your wrap-up.
The Batman Book Club has recently joined a trend of other podcasts on other networks on having horrible guests. And Justice Kowalski and Gary Graham fit that bill. So,
you talking about yourself here? Oh my gosh.
You know, two guys who don't know anything about anything. And, so I'm just glad to be back to restore the Batman Book Club to its proper level of
balance to the world.
Yeah.
So this episode counts. You're saying that this appearance counts. This episode
I
counts.
put in the work. I read these books. I read them often, and those two clowns got to zip it.
So for more context on all these comments that Pete just made, make sure you listen to
there'll be comments made throughout the episode
on the Batman Book Club.
We're not done yet.
I can't wait to have all three of you back on in one conversation again so we can settle this matter. Yeah. But Pete,
Garrett reads more Superman than anything, so don't let him fool you. He's writing for the wrong website.
Truth, Justice, and the Grev Way is how he sees everything.
I think he's got his application over there for SOL. So it's in the mail, Mario.
Pete, you're back for your usual monthly appearance. Yes. I shouldn't say usual. I mean, you're on here at least monthly, and sometimes you get a double dose of Verra, get a double dose of the V.
Some places pay extra for that,
but not here. What a bargain!
I get you for free.
I do. Oh, yay! Look at me. Aren't I special?
Yeah.
Another monthly wrap up, and I don't want to delay any further. Let's get to talking about new Batman comics released in April. We have a tendency starting every episode, every monthly wrap up episode, talking about one of the legacy titles, and it's the one that I cover each month in Batman. And this one was Batman issue number, I'm making sure it's Batman issue number 134, The Batman in Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is part 4. Trying to get to the
Let me know when it says finale.
Well, okay, so you're already showing your hand. Which, anybody who's been following on these monthlies, yes, this was part 4. Okay. Anybody who's been following along, you've seen that I've enjoyed this arc because I feel like, yes, it is almost an origin tale, but with a twist. And I have enjoyed it. You lesser so. Here, I thought it was another, I don't know. I thought there were some fun surprises, some fun twists. I don't know if I like the identity of basically this red mask person being Joker.
Yeah,
That's a
but
little
we've
like
known that since the opening of this story.
yeah. Since the gala that Bruce attended and looked at him, and then it was like next panel he had this vision of like, oh my gosh, that's the Joker of this universe.
It wasn't like
sort
some
of deal.
deal.
It's a twist. It's one that I'm like, like it could just be John Miller. That guy pops up a lot. John Miller could have been this villain identity. It had the same feeling reaction from me. It doesn't really matter. There is Ghostmaker in this one, but
Ghostbreaker.
Does he really say Ghostbreaker? Because I'm looking at the page right now where Batman even says Ghostmaker.
Yeah, but he introduces himself as Ghostbreaker, I believe.
Okay, got it.
In the show.
Yep, you're correct. It's the infamous Ghostbreaker. Gotcha. Okay.
Infamous.
Sure.
You can change his name as many times as you want in any universe. Character still sucks.
Still not a fan. Good fight art, bringing in a few character surprises. I don't know. I thought this continues for me of like, I think that this is fun. I do enjoy this arc. I do think because issue 135, so the next issue, which has been waiting for us to read in the early access if we want it, but Javi's even asked me if I read it yet, and I've said nope. I always wait until after I recorded with Pete in the monthly wrap up because I don't want to slip up and give up something early. I think that's the finale because that's also the technically 900th published issue of the Batman title.
Is that including the New 52?
I think so, yeah. Like as if the Batman would have continued and not had any interruptions, this would have been the 900th issue. So I think it's the finale. I think it's it's got more pages included. There's some surprises. I think it's got I think Jorge Jimenez is even doing some art inside of it in addition to
$10 comic book coming right at you.
Yeah, there you go. But I think your finale is coming next month, Pete. So
this issue was good. The story I just have no interest in. He looks like Batman of the Round Table. It was cool, the cameos of like Lex and Flash, whatever. The reveal of Joker was nothing special. Superman, that was another good one. Superman. I don't understand what did he say to Superman? Am I not remembering a specific book or something? Was this like a quote from Dark Knight Returns that I'm not remembering? Like, what is this quote that just sends Superman in fear? And completely out of the fight. So I don't remember. If someone can tell me, I would like to be reminded if I just missed it or whatnot. Art's good. I'm happy it's over. This is probably the best issue Zdarsky's written in terms of this story. I actually enjoy the backup tale with Robin and Mr. Terrific much more as they're searching the multiverse for Batman, which negates my whole theory that I wish Batman was just unconscious in an alley and this story wasn't real at all.
I think that one,
I don't like it.
So the toy box that you're talking about, I think that rebounded for me. Because I don't know if it was last issue or the one before, where it was like they were almost like they were in the community with Toyman and all that stuff. And I didn't like that issue. And I was like, oh, is that where this is going? But I think it rebounded. And I really like that last page of that backup where it's got the different like Elseworlds Batmans, which is
Justin doesn't like stuff like that. He didn't like it in Titans, and he doesn't like it in this book either. So he doesn't like fun.
Justin Kowalski, right?
Justin Kowalski.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Takes age like bad milk.
Your comment, what you said, you mentioned something about for this arc, the look of Batman. I got to say, like the cowl to me is strange. I like everything else except the cowl. I think the cowl is strange looking to me, and I know it's an assembled.
Batman Returns, and you can see the whites of his eyes.
I think maybe. Like I know it's an assemble yourself, but I mean, even his gauntlets and stuff, all that works for me. It's fine. I think it's kind of a cool costume, but it's something with the cowl for me. But
sure,
you're ready to move on to the next arc.
Yeah, I've been ready since Fail Safe to move on. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Gets a fun review from me. Pete says good, but yeah, let's get going.
I'm ready. Yeah. Can I get Batman fighting like Two-Face, please? Can I stop with this fake Joker shit?
Stop with the fake Joker shit. Pete demands it.
Where's Rosenberg? Give me a real Joker.
Oh, he's coming. He's coming. Oh man, There we go.
David.
Also released that first Tuesday of April was the 6th and the penultimate issue, of the finale of Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Book 6 by Mark Silvestri. Pete, you can start this one off. How'd you feel?
I feel like Garrett wouldn't read this book because it would make him scared and give him nightmares. He's definitely not man enough to read this book.
All right, so we've got one mention of Justin Kowalski, one mention of Garrett Greaves.
Yeah,
Garrett Greaves, right?
We're going 9 rounds here. So don't worry.
You get him on your show on Street Out of Gotham. You're going to get him here too.
Garrett's not allowed on our show. There's a running gag there, so he just extended that.
There you go.
This is really creepy, man. I didn't expect this to take this turn. Right,
this is like the Corpse Bride movie for adults.
Yeah, Corpse Bride. It's very personal. Like the Joker's partnering with Batman in a special suit. Like it's really taken a crazy turn. You know, like there's these Joker zombie things, and this chick is pretty badass. And then when it comes down to it, you just can't trust the Joker, then, can you? Like,
no.
even if it's life and death, the Joker might just choose death because he gets a laugh out of it. So it's crazy, man. It's one of the more interesting books. It's definitely not a traditional Batman book in any sense of the meaning, but I think the art is just gorgeous throughout the book. Like Silvestri is something else, man. This guy really impresses me.
I'm with you. I think first off, yes, I love the art.
First off, yes.
Yes. I love the art. The story is really interesting. It's not a typical grounded Batman. Typical grounded Batman is my favorite Batman. Doesn't mean I don't like other versions, all that. It's just like, hey, what's your favorite? My favorite is like where it's grounded, but this isn't grounded. But yet it's gritty. And it's kind of grounded with some supernatural elements, but it works. Like it hasn't not worked for me yet, and we're 6 out of 7 issues in. So I think the art's good. I think it's it's dark. It's very mature. It's very violent. That's pretty gnarly. Like what the corpse bride, Amanda, what she does to her father was like, whoa.
Yeah. Whoa.
Okay. And then I do like the inclusion of Harley here, and Harley is like, I don't know, she's Harley, like she's my favorite iteration of Harley here, of like basically Joker's sidekick. And I do enjoy it the most when Joker and Harley are like working together on stuff. They're not like the domestic violence disputes. It's like I like it when they're working together on stuff, and they are allies in this too.
Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, I think that's always entertaining to me. And as you'd expect, Joker, you kind of can't trust them, and you see why. And there's this, and I know it's not incredibly detailed, but man, I love that panel towards the end where Corpse Bride and her army are just coming to them, and you just see their outline figures. I'm like, that's a shot from a freaking horror movie.
Yeah, I actually like the panel on the next page of Batman. That's a great Batman panel. The
Batman in his chest.
Yeah.
I think that's really good too. I dig that. Yeah, I'm with you. I really hope that it sticks to landing next month. This will probably be a double dip for me because the hardcover of this is already up for pre-order.
Oh, you like it that much, huh?
Yeah. It just, and I mean, with stories like this that I really enjoy when I buy them, the issues, if I like them enough, then I'll probably end up buying a collected version to have on the bat shelf just for easier access than going through long boxes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this Batman Joker Deadly Duo comes out the collected version comes out in September. Okay. So if anybody's waiting, I mean, they're coming on DC Universe Infinite Ultra and stuff too. But yeah, this is a good series. By give us a couple months and
Ultra.
Yeah, well, Ultra is one of the options now. So Ultra is at least providing much more up to date than Infinite. So well, you don't listen to the show. I've been doing Ultra for months now, Pete.
I do not listen to any podcasts actually.
So yeah, this is a great series. I have a blast with this one. I like it a lot. Big fan.
All right.
Let's move on then. Unless you have more to say about.
No,
You're good.
I'm with you. I'm good. Let's go. Let's keep it rolling.
The next Tuesday.
Rolling.
Next Tuesday, Batman: The Adventures Continue, Season 3, Number 4. this is interesting because Pete, a lot of times I like to reserve my comments on issues that we're going to talk about until we're recording. But actually, we've Pete and I talk pretty like often on the telly. And we talked about this issue, and it's actually really funny because out the gate, I said you said you didn't like it. I said I did like it. But then as we talked,
thing we said was that's Donald Trump on the cover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's. I mean, I don't know. It's some hard convincing to say that that's not.
It's like.
But then I said that I liked it, but then by the end of the conversation, I'm like, by the time we hung up, I was like, you know what? I actually don't know if I liked it. Yeah. And there are pieces of it that I do like, period. But I think as a whole, in realizing by the end of the issue, realizing that this arc is not finished, I was disappointed because I'm like, oh, well, I kind of am fine with it to be done. Let's go on to another story because it's fine. And I think that's just like all that I can really say about it. It's just like, it's fine, but it feels like it's kind of dragging on and it's throwing in a lot of extra elements, almost trying to make it bigger than it needs to be.
I agree. It's definitely, coming from who is writing this, Dini and Burnett, you kind of expect there's a level of excellence there, and I just don't think that the story is up to it just seems like they're a little off. Yeah, it just seems like they're a little off. I haven't really enjoyed this story that much since it started. It's probably been my least favorite of the arcs that we've gotten, but it's it's got little elements that I like, and it's got elements I don't like certain things are just boring, and there's character selections. And I don't know. I'm not really like head over heels for this one. It's not poorly written, but I'm just not enjoying it.
Gotcha. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to add. We'll see how this arc wraps up next month.
Is this the end of season 3? Is it only 5 issues?
No, it's 7 issues. So we should at least get probably. I mean, for the love of, I hope this arc doesn't continue. The next 3 issues. I hope it wraps next issue, and then we get like 2 self-contained 1-issue stories or something like that. To help end it strongly.
That would be nice. So, yeah. It's I don't know. We've gotten 3 Batman BTAS continuations in comics. It's okay. They can have it done.
Yeah. So moving on, also that Tuesday, Pete, you read this, the Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, issue number 7.
It did.
Go for it. Kick us off.
I didn't like the story. I thought it was kind of boring. I didn't enjoy it, but I actually am very thankful I did read it, because there's a preview of a Billy Batson Shazam comic that's going to come out, I think, or it is out. Mm-hmm. Shazam like Thundercrack, and I thought that was actually brilliant. So I'm actually looking forward to reading that. So thank you, Batman Scooby-Doo, for leading me down the right path.
They did their job.
Yes.
Got you to read something else.
They got me to buy something.
This one, I don't know. A lot of these, no, they're not the same, but I feel like they do feel the same to me as far as like simple reads, fun, contained to 1 issue.
They follow the Scooby-Doo method.
It's kind of, yeah, exactly. And that's all I'm really expecting with this. This was just basically a mystery of a talent show.
They didn't go very far. They were self-contained to basically like the stage. Like everything happened in like the auditorium. Like it all happened in a very small confined space.
In front of and behind the curtain.
Yeah, it was basically the stage.
I don't know. I thought it was fun. It wasn't up to, or not, I'm not going to say it wasn't up to. It's not like my favorite of these issues, both of this series and the last 12-issue one that they did. But I thought it was, harmless fun. It's one that I can always recommend. Of like, I don't know.
At some point,
you have kids that want to read some.
Go for it.
In,
right?
I don't know, Pete.
Scrappy's
when I talked to Ivan Cohen, he would not tell me.
Scrappy's got to be. You can't do this without having where's Scrappy? You can't, because I'm calling for it. I don't know how you don't like Scrappy-Doo.
Scrappy is the hot dogs that they're eating.
It's horrible. You're not an animal lover. I'm telling
Love
you.
animals. You know that's not even true.
Apparently, if you're like eating little dogs.
Scrappy sucks. Who was the... It wasn't... Oh my gosh, I'm losing it. Was it like Scooby's uncle?
What's his name?
He was like
Scott?
the gray one. He almost seemed a little like...
Okay. I think I remember who you're talking about.
Well, now I'm on the Google because I have to find this out.
Scooby's uncle?
Scooby-Dum.
Is that his real name? Scooby-Dum?
Yeah. Scooby-Dum. You know what? I like him.
Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Dum.
I liked him a lot more than Scrappy.
Really? Scrappy? I thought brought an element to the show that I really liked.
No, he sucks. So anyways, anything else to say about this series, Pete? This issue? We're ready to move on.
You have bad taste in animated dogs.
Bad taste? Ouch. You shut your mouth.
You don't even like Snoopy.
I love Snoopy.
You hate Snoopy.
No, that's incorrect. So the third Tuesday in April.
The third April.
Batman Superman World's Finest number 14. This is coming off last issue where Pete, I told you that was of the Batman Superman World's Finest series. Last month's issue was my favorite of the 13 that they've done. This was a good follow-up. I thought this was good art. Furthered the story really well. Of course, I say it's good art because it's Dan Mora. Can that guy do any wrong? I don't think so. It's just a lot of like fun elements, like opening up of between, going back and forth of the fortress and the Batcave. Like just the settings itself, I think was really fun. Because of course you see the identifiers of each location that we've come to know. The cliffhanger of the last issue is really quickly resolved as expected. There's some Oliver Queen involvement here. There's some further action with Metamorpho. I thought this was a really fun issue, and that when it becomes, and I know it's this whole series in itself, it's Batman and Superman, and I'm particular of that because I can be taken out if it gets too science fiction-y. Maybe this is a little sci-fi-ish, but like I don't know, all the elements are working for me. I really like this issue, especially as a follow-up to last month.
Yeah, Wade knows how to juggle the balance really well. He's a veteran. His Batman elements are on point. I mean, you see a great bit of detective work from Batman just in talking to Oliver Queen.
Yeah.
Right. Is that really Oliver and what he's doing? Like that whole history. I really like the Superman and Robin elements. I think that team up is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just overall, just really impressed with this book. This is like a DC Comics fans, like just bread and butter here. Like this is like, oh my God, you guys are gonna love this. For everything from Mozo to Metamorpho to Batman and Superman, everything in between. Like it covers a wide range of history and DC lore, and it's just fun. I mean, you got some Green Arrow in here, throw that in there. And who knows what else? Like
stories.
It's
I don't know.
It's
story's exciting.
I always like the Simon Stagg murder, right? Like it's kind of interesting. So since the Batman did the Beware the Batman, like that's kind of where that got me off there. So
yeah, and I think I said that last month too, of like, hey, this is familiarity to me. Of like, hold on a second, this Beware the Batman and the connections there and stuff. So it's working for me on every level, every piece of it. I don't know how. Have they done like 3? No, they couldn't have. I don't know how many issues this arc will be. But it's building to where it's like I know it's continuing next month. Mm-hmm. I almost feel like if next month is the conclusion of this one, I'd probably be like, oh, well, you can do more, just because I don't know, it's working. Yeah, I like everything that's included. And just like that, Pete, we're already going now to the last Tuesday in April. And this means it's time to talk about Detective Comics.
Oh God.
Detective Comics issue number 1071. Pete, you cover this on BOF with reviews. kick us off with that one.
This is weird. There's certain elements I like. Like I like when V writes like tactical Batman. I think that's really good. But like he tries to do this like O'Neil Adams type like backstory. Or I don't know if it's like trying to pay tribute or whatnot, and it's kind of more about Vandal Savage than it is about like Roz, but it's told through Talia, and it just doesn't really work for me. There's just really kind of no heart in this story. Like it's not really about. I don't know what it's about. Like I don't know. Like I don't know who this chick with the 6 eyes is, and I might bring her up all the time because she's one of the main characters of the story. I still don't know her name. Like it's just I'm just bored to death here. The Mr. Freeze backup was really interesting. I mean, it didn't end the way I expected it. I like that more than the primary, and Spurrier drives me crazy. Just right now, just the combination of V and Spurrier just totally is just throwing me off detective, and I'm not really enjoying it. I know some people have. Paul Herman, for some reason, thinks this is as good as Batman comics get. I don't agree with him. But he seems to. If you want a more positive review, you can check out what he has to say about it. But yeah, no, I don't like this. I want this to end really fast. It's just not appealing to me, and I know V's going to be around for a while, so I'm just waiting for the next arc to begin. At this point, I'm just not enjoying any of this. It's just not entertaining.
Told you when we talked on the phone that I don't need to come on here and just draw out complaining about something that I didn't enjoy. You've heard me say that with this run the past, I don't know how many episodes too. So I don't really need to add anything. I'm just not enjoying it. What you said was not exactly sure what it's about. That's where I'm at too. And if it's there of what this is about and there is a through line, maybe it's just I've just lost interest because I have been bored.
Yeah. Once Batman was fighting that werewolf, I really lost interest.
See, and I was all in on that one. I think even I'm like, okay, I don't love this issue. I was like, but that was cool.
It reminds you of Batman and Bixby.
A little bit, Batman and Bixby, little
Right?
Moon of the Wolf action. But it was like, okay, setting up some interesting stuff, and I've just gotten lost. And like you said too, the 10-eyed woman or whatever, and the orgums and all this stuff. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, and then what takes up most of this issue is telling of a story that doesn't include Batman and is Al Ghul based, I guess, but it's very boring to me. Yeah. And I didn't care. So I think that's the biggest problem is even if things are there, even if elements are there now, I'm just bored with the story that I don't even care. So then it's like, well, then stop reading it. I'm like, well, I feel like I have to read it.
We read it because we do this show.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
I want to do the work.
I will. If I didn't have the digital access, I probably wouldn't read it.
I don't know that I would either. I'd just wait until a new arc starts.
Yeah, and I would judge that something that I would just do it the old way.
Yeah, but like you said, there are people out there who are really fond of this run and everything. And you know what? More power to them. Glad they're getting stuff out of it. I wish I was. I'm not entertained. I'm bored. I'm ready for the next arc.
Yeah,
where let's go to. I don't know. Maybe follow this up with status quo Batman. Like you said, he's just taking on Two-Face. Like good old throwback, and that'll win me over. At
this point, it could be Firefly. It could be anyone. Yeah. I don't care. Mustard Man.
There you go.
Like I'll take it. I want him solving a crime.
Mm-hmm. So I'm ready to move on from that. Pete, I almost didn't know whether to put this next issue under Batman and Friends or here, but I mean, I guess it's based on the Batman, but I don't even think the Riddler year 1.
You have to explain that because there's certain people in your audience, Justin Kowalski, who've never seen the Batman. It's not a kid's movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, he won't watch it.
Okay, gotcha.
The Riddler hits too close to home. He gets upset. Homeless people. He thinks the Riddler looks like a homeless man. You can't watch it. You know, LA. It's filled with just homeless.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
The Riddler year 1, issue number 4. Friend of ours, Trey Jackson, is reviewing this on Batman on Film. He has a great job with his reviews on this. So I recommend
because it takes someone with an elevated level of education to really break down what the Riddler is in this universe, because he's just, smarter than everyone else, really. So wonderful job by Trey. He does a great job breaking it down, because I think this issue itself needed an extra read.
This issue itself I've enjoyed the 3 prior. I think this one is excellent.
Yeah.
This one is not an issue about a villain. It is telling a very sad backstory of a character,
which we got bits and pieces of in the prequel novel, as well as the movie. And you could just tell that Dano is all in. Like,
Yeah.
I want the Riddler to appear with his face mask and his glasses to piss off Justin in every movie, like he was Scarecrow in the trilogy, right? Like, I just need more Dano. This guy cares. It's in every page. This book is filled with. This is the most depressing story I've ever read. I love it so much.
Stevens, so written by Paul Dano, which we all know by now, an artist, and I apologize if I mispronounce it. Steven Subic or Steven Subic.
We call him Double S around here.
Yeah, Double S. Yes, thank you. I think his art is a little unnerving.
Yeah,
but that's the point. I think he does a great job, and I think something that works really well. So what page? Digitally, this is page 8. But this, I'm showing Pete. It's like the face of little Edward.
Yeah,
and like he illustrates that really well to have you
throughout the book.
For you to feel for the character, and every time he pops up and looks that way, like I don't know,
emotion.
It works. And then the story in itself, it works.
Some things are blurry, some things are clear, hints of green, shades of orange. Like, it's a very creative book.
This orphanage that, we as an audience, we think the Wayne families are they're in charge of this orphanage, basically, so you think like, oh yeah, the Waynes, they're great and everything, but you're seeing through the eyes of Edward of like, no, this place was not great. Like, and this is a terrible place.
Go back to the movie. He's telling Batman, the rats eating your fingers, what's it like to be like, this is all stuff that you saw. And then you put the pictures to the words and you're like, gosh, that's why this is the only shared universe that matters. There's actually substance here.
And I mean, another page that's, we get the choir singing that we knew about from the movie. That was also referenced in the junior novel. Then you get and following that is, like a few beds down from where Edward sleeps, like a kid's died. And it's like, holy shit. And then what follows that is the rats biting him, and like, I don't know, it's just, it's creating quite a story for the character that, again, isn't like, I don't know, because we have 2 issues left of this, that I don't think it's going to end to make you be like, no, he's a hero, I love the Riddler, or anything like that. Because look at the movie and stuff that he did. It's like, no, he didn't do good things. But it's like, it's really just fleshing out the character and giving him a lot of substance. And this issue, maybe more than the others, I think gave the most.
It's incredible. I had no idea Dano would write such a great story.
I didn't either.
Honest. I didn't expect this.
I love that final page too. Did you do with the blocks and the numbers? Did you have to be like, wait, hold on, what is he saying?
I actually didn't. What did he say?
Well, it's by letters of the alphabet.
Oh, right. Well,
H, E.
I don't know what they are off the top of my head, Ryan. Like,
okay,
I don't know what the
help me. He says, "Help me" at the
end. Like, I don't know what the 16th letter of the alphabet is off the top.
How do you not know? Well, you have fingers, Pete. Just count.
I have fingers. I can recite the alphabet, but don't tell us. Like, what's letter 14? I actually don't know. I have to think about this. That's why
I just had to do a count real quick. I'm like, wait, hold on. Let me make sure that I did do that.
Yeah. Okay. Good. See, it's not that simple, jackass.
It is simple. I just counted on my fingers.
You made it seem like you had it.
I did, and then you made me. I don't know. I second.
Oh yeah, it's my fault. Jesus
it's your fault, Pete.
Typical.
Everything's your fault. Listen to episode 150 of the Batman Book Club, and you'll find out it's Peter Verra's fault. By his biggest fans, Garrett Gresham Kowalski.
If you're gonna take the advice of somebody who deep fries celery sticks wrapped in tofu and calls them chicken wings, get the fuck out of here.
Whoa, dropping an F-bomb on this show. This is a family-friendly show here, Pete.
No, it isn't.
I got to mark this.
Is it really? What kid listens to this?
The F-bomb is not present in these here parts often, but we'll see how I feel.
Well, there you go.
By the end. Peter Verra, everybody.
That's why Justin Kowalski doesn't listen. It's not for kids.
We've broken Pete. He's a broken man. Pete, that does it for Batman centric issues for the month. Which means,
oh no, Ryan's most hated segment of his own show.
Oh, I love this segment.
You hate this segment.
I love this segment. I even created a new intro for this segment. This segment is called
You hate it.
Batman Defense. I'm a big fan, Pete, because this gives me the opportunity.
Hoss had to convince you to do this.
This gives So
it was really
shout out to Ryan Haas, who he did come up with this, and then the created part of that edit I came up with because I had it right in my head what I wanted to use. But I love this segment of the show because it gives me the chance to talk about Joker, the man who stopped laughing.
How come that this wasn't Batman proper? Why was Riddler year one?
Wow, you're so angry.
I'm just confused.
Maybe your appearances don't count after all.
Just curious.
I love this series.
This is fun. This is Rosenberg.
Wait, who's writing this? Who's writing this, Pete?
The greatest writer of all time,
Matthew Rosenberg. This is basically the this is the third series that he's done that has been in our previous Batman and Friends, previously known as honorable mentions, and he did Joker's Puzzle Box, and then he did Task Force Z. We both were big fans of both of those series, and now you have.
And he did the detective backups. Remember?
He did. Yes. Oh yeah, that was excellent. So this guy's got noticing a trend here. This issue is just fun. It's demented. And when it's funny to say that it's fun and demented because I don't know, it's
fun and demented.
It's what I don't know. That's the Joker can really thrive when he's doing the unexpected, and there's humor behind it, even though what he's doing is messed up and not okay. Blasting people right in front of their face and stuff, and he's got to make this plain. But then he sees, a billboard for, a burger, and he's like, "Oh, wait, hold on."
If you ask me, the parts of the book where Joker and his crew are chopping down on burgers and fries, being chased by the cops, is the best thing in the world. It really is. I enjoy this book so much. It might be one of my favorite Joker stories all time, and we don't even know we don't even know who the real Joker is.
Yeah.
That's the best part. The mystery's still intact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I never was disappointed or didn't like the art, but I've come around to the art from Carmen D. Giandomenico. That it's really fitting for the story, and it's a treat. I really enjoy it. Of course, I got the Bermejo variant cover because I have to. What I think of Manhunter, I thought she was great in this.
Yeah, I like the. I almost kind of forgot about her.
Yeah, and so
when she popped up in here,
I didn't even think and put two and two together at the very beginning. At the AA meeting, that's who it is, and it's then you turn pages, and then it's oh yeah, oh hell, look at that. So, yeah, this is a great series. If people aren't reading it, I highly recommend that you check this out. DC Universe Infinite Ultra. Moving along. Poison Ivy.
Wait. What did you think of the backup? What did you think of the backup?
Oh, the backup was fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
The fact that they just have basically a bunch of cloned Jokers that they put out in front of everything while he's doing this political campaign. I don't know, that was fun to me.
I really like the panel of Deathstroke, with the blade behind me,
yes.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm gonna slit your throat."
What he says, this may be better than anybody I've ever. The only time I'm not killing someone where the outcome was better than if I did kill somebody, something like that. Well, now I have to see. I think this is the first time it's funnier if I don't kill anybody. That's funny to me. I like the villain meeting at the beginning of it. I mean, especially of I love Scarecrow's how he his outfit, how he's drawn. Yeah. So overall, I mean, yeah, great issue, a lot of fun.
Is this Rosenberg too, right?
Yep.
No, this is with Ryan Cady. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Rosenberg and Zdarsky are the only two who write the backups to their primaries. I don't think anybody else does that. I think it's just the two of them.
I think you're right. I
You
was
don't
trying
even
to
read
think
the
if Zdarsky was doing all the backups on his. I don't know if he was, but
For Batman, he was. I thought.
gotcha. Okay. Poison Ivy number 11.
Yeah.
These are, I feel like these are also easy reads. I do enjoy it, but I also kind of feel like maybe not a lot happens. But they're like, they don't take me much time to read, so that's why I've continued. Like, it's entertaining enough.
It's like G, like this seems almost like kind of like body horror in a way.
A little bit.
Yeah, like you don't really. It's kind of an element that I don't really think I've ever read before from G. Willow Wilson. So like I'm really intrigued by that. Like, but at the same time, it's still a very personal story, and I know she's very deep into stuff like that,
Yeah.
character development, group characters. Kind of like love overcoming all type thing. Like her message. Usually, like her overall message is really like what stands out, but like the way she's getting there is really interesting to me as I've kind of become very familiar with her work recently. So I think it's really cool how she's branching out and trying new things. It's kind of fun because, like I said, like the core elements that you're used to from her work are still there. Plus, she's kind of just give a little sprinkle of something different, keep it fresh. So that's what I really appreciate. It's a really good Ivy story, and I'm glad they've extended this. I don't know how much longer it's going to go, but I've had a blast with this.
Yeah. Like I said, enjoyable enough that I've continued reading. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't keep reading. I just think it's a little bit slower.
I will say,
again, it's still enjoyable.
I think this series is a lot better than like what they're doing with Ivy is a lot better than what they're doing with Harley right now.
Oh,
You
is that a hot take, Peter?
I don't know if that's a hot take or I'm just being honest.
It could be both.
I guess.
Nightwing issue number 103.
Yeah.
I think we've alleged that this is a tease for the Titan series that's going to be launching, and I think the timing of that is spot on to where I think we are correct. I don't love this one. I'm not huge on them going to hell and all that. The interesting part to me was the mention of the girl. The focus of the girl is Jezebel Jet's daughter.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of new readers to Grant Morrison's Batman run. So as they're being introduced to this character, that name will sound very familiar.
Yes, it will.
But overall, it's like it's definitely taken a step back. I think from where Nightwing was consistently at a level, I think it's dropped a little bit here.
Well, it's not a Nightwing book anymore. This is a
Yeah.
Teen Titans title, as far as I'm concerned, or a Titans title.
Agreed.
Yeah. To be honest, it feels too much like the TV show. We got hell, we got blood, all this. I'm just like, I'm just kind of ready to move on. I'm not a fan of the hybrid Nightwing suits by Book's End. And there's also something that I feel like has been happening recently with DC Comics within Dick Grayson, like DC Future State or Gotham Future State. He was kind of elevated to somewhat of a godlike level by Book's End. This seems to have been happening. DC Universe, what's it called? The end of Dark Crisis seemed to put Dick Grayson on a different level. I don't know if I'm really down with that.
Yeah.
I think Dick Grayson's very important. I think he's very important to Batman lore. I don't know if I'm ready to elevate Dick Grayson into the sense of like a DC god, right? Like it seems like that's kind of where they're taking him. I just kind of prefer him as, Batman's former sidekick who ventured out. So I don't know if he's ready to take that leap to, I don't know. It just feels weird to give a Batman character or a Batman a sidekick powers. Like I don't know. I'd much rather prefer Dick Grayson to be a human being with limits. These are things that I've noticed.
So I mean, I'll keep reading it, but yeah, this arc I'm kind of ready for it to be done. getting back in Bloodhaven and doing stuff in Bloodhaven.
Again, backup better than primary here.
It's a decent backup. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go further than that. It was a good backup, yes.
I think it's a very good backup. I mean, I feel like it's a personal story that connects to Grayson within the circus and the death of the performers. Him and John are working together as you see John kind of coming of age and trying to figure out how to do this whole superhero thing, and he turns to Dick. Like this, I think this is a much better representation of Dick Grayson than the primary. And it's funny because it's written by a writer who I don't know, C.S. Peckett. Never heard of them before.
There you go.
So, but yeah, I think I don't necessarily like the art taken towards John Kent's Superman. I think he needs to see a stylist. His hair is horrible.
His hair is out of control.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, no, just I don't know if I'll read this Titans book. Let's put it that way.
I don't know if I will either.
Titans books are hit or miss. Sometimes they're way too sci-fi for me.
Ooh, that's saying something for Peter.
Well, it depends. Like
too out there for Pete.
Yeah, like I kind of like there are exceptions like Superman, Batman, Apocalypse, but like most of the time, like sci-fi stuff, I like with the sci-fi characters, and I don't associate Dick Grayson. Like, that's why something with like Titans is always a mixed bag for me, or ensemble stuff, because it's
Dick Grayson grounded in Bloodhaven is all of a sudden in hell talking to a demon. Like that to me, like, that just feels really too far out there.
Like I get like Raven can do that. Like I get that part.
Yep. Lastly, from me on my end was an interesting project called DC Silent Tales by Gustavo Duarte. So Gustavo D. Originally, this was pitched, I guess, as like a one-shot, one story of like 40 or 50 pages, and it got reworked to being roughly that length, maybe like 60 pages, but including 6 short stories of DC characters, one of which is Harley Quinn, another one being Joker. I thought this is very interesting. This is a very quick read because there's no dialogue. It's basically a silent film printed. But I thought it was clever. I thought it was fun. I thought that the art was great. The coloring was great. Risky for it just, I guess it just opinions will vary because it's $6 because it's an oversized book. And if you get a lot out of it without having to follow along with dialogue, and that you can just panel to panel. So I don't know if you read this one or not, Pete. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, kind of clever.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Awesome.
The Harley Quinn stuff really opens it up and sets you up perfectly. I thought it was the right tale to open up that book. So many characters in there. I'm not Cyborg's got a good one. Who else was in there, Ryan?
Superman, Zatanna.
That was good. I like that. Zatanna's was fun. Lobos was funny too. That was
and
really
Joker,
good.
obviously, but
yeah, so well worth checking out. Definitely a great change of pace read. And it's very simple. You'll probably blow through it, but it's a lot of fun.
Yep. Exactly. And that does it for my list. What do you have to add?
DC Deceased War of the Undead Gods, issue 8 of 8. This is apparently the final chapter of the DC saga. And let me tell you, it ends in a way that I did not expect. What they did with the Bat family early on is totally let's say involved with the ending. A lot of Alfred, a lot of Damian. They're essentially the 2 stars of this issue. And my boy Uxas is in here as well. So this is a lot of fun. This is interesting. This one goes out to Garrett Grev. It's a Superman book. He'll probably read that because he doesn't read Batman. But Batman's in it. Superman Lost is very interesting because Lois Lane is really blaming Batman Bruce Wayne for Superman's disappearance and blah blah blah. Like there's not a whole lot of Batman Bruce in the book outside of the opening, but Lois is still blaming him for the event. So I want to see where that leads and how that unfolds. So it's important, I think, to mention it because having Lois and Bruce beef is kind of interesting to me, right?
Yeah,
fascinating. Harley Quinn 29. I'm not really feeling the vibe of this Harley Quinn book. Batman is involved. Harley and Batman eventually sit down for some dinner on the top of a skyscraper, which is interesting. Harley has made the full turn to a hero, it seems. Then you have Harley Quinn Multiversity. Harley Quinn screws up the DCU. They just did a Harley Quinn multiverse tale in the Harley Quinn proper book. I actually think this is a little bit better, but they seem too similar, so that's a weird editorial thing. Catwoman 54. Catwoman has been running things from jail. She has an all-out battle royale with Punchline in prison. It's a pretty crazy tale, and I think everyone should check it out because it's one of my favorites.
Crazy.
And the best Bat title that
there you go.
Over last year is Batgirls comes to we're at to the second to last issue, and this is just a really cool sniper issue. Looks like it's going to carry on until the finale, and it's cool, just and it seems kind of a little close to home, rogue shooters shooting up a square in Gotham, and it kind of reminds me of what happened in Vegas a few years ago, so you can kind of relate to it a little bit with just recent events, but really cool. Like the cover. Who watches the Batgirls? Someone's got it out for the three of them, and it's going to get really exciting. So I really highly recommend this title. I think you guys should pick it up and trade if you can find it, or if you can find the issues, that's even better. But yeah, Batgirls 17. That's well worth your time.
Dang, what are you going to do when that ends? Reread it? Start from scratch?
Buy the hardcovers like I'm Ryan Lauer.
Oh, there you go. Double dip because you got that money. Got that Skrilla.
Got that
Ookses
money. Got that Ookses money.
Apocalypse bucks. Apocalypse.
Hey man, I just bought an Ookses statue from overseas, so I got the dough.
It was like $2,000.
With shipping, it was quite a bit.
Wow. Hope you can eat after that.
Lucky I don't have
Ford
kids,
money.
right?
Damn. Holy crap. Papa Pete. Couldn't you imagine? Papa Pete. Ookses. Galactus, Ookses. Pete, this, like last month, shortlist. We have 2 new series being added next month. We also have, I guess, 2 ending next month. So yeah, I guess stay tuned on. We'll see how crazy this list gets in the coming months. So thanks for coming back on to Batman Book Club for another wrap up. Justin and Garrett appreciate it.
They should. I mean, if they really cared about the show, they'd make the time.
Ooh,
to be honest. Just saying, I'm here every month, and
so we've been doing at least 20. Let's see, hold on, over 2 years now, so that's at least 24 monthly wrap ups. 25, 26, and then your appearances on top of that. I mean, you're in the 30s.
Oh, geez.
At least that's a lot. That's quite a lead. They're just jealous. They're just jealous.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what it is. Gotcha. Pete, why don't you go ahead and plug away before we get out of here?
You can follow me on social media. That's Twitter, Instagram, Mastodon, MySpace. Let's see what else is there. Oh,
Zack Snyder's favorite.
Snyder's favorite platform. Full circle, baby.
There you go.
Bureau at Pete Illustrated. And if you love Hasbulla, my Instagram account is the largest Hasbulla fan page in the United States. Just
gotta be, right?
Gotta be.
At this point.
Gotta be. Over 9,000 people, can't be wrong. So there's that. You can follow my fanboy podcast that I co-host for the champion of Long Island, Eric Holzman, at straight_O_G on both Instagram and Twitter. There's a Facebook group and a Facebook fan page. Ryan is a member of both. You should consider joining, and you could frolic with him about any stupid topic you want to. You can find me all over BatmanOnFilm.com and Batman on Film YouTube with comic book reviews and toy reviews. I also do another podcast with Nicholas and Nico Caruso. That is the Italian Spider-Man Coalition podcast. That is at Italians for Spidey on Twitter. You can follow at Team Yellow Oval. I mentioned Batman on Film. Yeah, that's it about right. I'm here once a month talking about Batman books. Right. Some people don't read them, so I'm here to
do the work. Pete's here to do the work.
Do the work.
You can follow the Batman Book Club on Twitter and Instagram at the Batman BC for latest episode drops, upcoming episodes, sometimes some giveaways. Make sure you subscribe to the Batman Book Club YouTube channel. Pete and I will return there, I promise. The video version of the last episode has actually been uploaded to the YouTube channel, so we talk about artist covers and stuff, and we show them in the video, and then you can see the faces of Justin and Garrett as they trash talk Pete, as well as all three of us doing our best Peter impressions, which I think I'm glad there's video for that because our faces are interesting when we try to sound like
enjoyable.
Pete.
I enjoyed that. That was probably the only enjoyable segment of the show.
Ouch, that hurts. I'm innocent in all this. Come on now.
Guilty by association.
But yeah, Pete and I will return to continue our journey on the road to no man's land. So we're going to wrap it up. Going to make it happen soon. If you want to, if you're going to get it in, if you want to support the show, there's a variety of ways you can do that. Like I said at the top of the show, patreon.com/thebatmanbc. And again, big shout out to Alex Light, Gregory Luzitano, and Lee Ankeret for being patrons of the show. Much appreciated. You can also go to tpublic.com, type in TBBC for the Batman Book Club for some t-shirts, notebooks, stickers, hoodies, anything, and have that logo created by Justin Kowalski slapped on it. But if you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% okay. The easiest, quickest, and most impactful thing you can do is rate and review the show wherever you listen to it on your podcasts. So whether you use Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, iHeartRadio, wherever, just go to the rate and review section and rate and review the show, because the more reviews the show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as we all know, the word is panic.
Oopsies.
There you go. I need to say. So for Peter R. Verra, I am Ryan Lauer. And until next time, remember, guys.